Your heart is pounding, your palms are sweaty, and all that happened is your phone buzzed with a notification from your boss. Nothing chased you, nothing hunted you. You are sitting in a chair, in a warm room, completely safe. But your body doesn't know that. Your body is reacting like a predator just stepped out from behind a tree. Why? The answer isn't really about your boss, or your phone, or your job. The real answer is far stranger. It reaches back hundreds of thousands of years, to a version of you that never saw a screen, never heard a notification chime, and spent most of its waking life deciding, in a split second, whether to run. Your brain was not built for emails. It was built for survival. Start with a simple fact. Your body has one alarm system. Just one. It doesn't have a separate button for email from boss and a separate button for lion in the grass. It has a single ancient circuit, and every kind of threat, real or imagined, physical or social, gets routed through it. The physiologist Walter Cannon was the first to name this circuit, back in the early 20th century. He called it the fight or flight response. Cannon noticed that when an animal senses danger, its body doesn't hesitate to weigh options. It floods itself with chemicals. Heart rate spikes. Blood rushes to the muscles. Digestion pauses. The entire system reorganizes itself around one question: run or fight. That system kept your ancestors alive. Not most of the time, all of the time. Because for early humans, hesitation was often fatal. A rustle in the grass that turned out to be wind cost nothing. A rustle in the grass that turned out to be a predator, and you failed to react, cost everything. So evolution did something ruthless and efficient. It built a brain that reacts first and thinks second. Here's where it gets interesting. Deep in your skull sits a small, almond-shaped cluster of neurons called the amygdala. Almond, in Latin, is where the name comes from. It's tiny, it's ancient, and it is, in many ways, still running the show. The neuroscientist Joseph Ledoux spent decades mapping exactly how fear moves through the brain. What he found reshaped how scientists understand fear itself. There isn't just one pathway that processes a threat. There are two. The first is slow and smart. Information travels up through your senses, into the thinking parts of your brain, gets analyzed, compared to memory, weighed against context. This pathway is accurate. It's also slow, at least in brain terms. It takes time your ancestors sometimes didn't have. The second pathway is fast and dumb. Ledoux called it the low road. Sensory information takes a shortcut, straight to the amygdala, bypassing conscious thought almost entirely. You don't decide to flinch, you just flinch. The thinking happens after, if it happens at all. That shortcut is why you jump before you know what startled you. It's why your stomach drops the second before your mind catches up. The low road doesn't wait for permission. It reacts and asks questions later. For 100,000 years, that trade-off made sense. Better to flinch at a stick that turns out to be a stick than to calmly analyze a shape that turns out to be a snake. But somewhere along the way, the world around that ancient alarm system changed a lot faster than the alarm system itself did. Think about what actually triggers your fight or flight response today. A curt reply from a coworker, a red notification badge, a silence after you send a message and nobody responds. None of these things can bite you. None of them can chase you across open ground. And yet your amygdala treats them with something close to the same urgency it would give an actual predator. This is the mismatch. Your environment evolved. Your alarm system didn't get the memo. The biologist and neuroscientist Robert Sapolsky spent years studying this exact gap, partly by watching zebras on the African savanna. A zebra's stress response is a masterpiece of efficiency. When a lion appears, its body floods with stress hormones. It runs. It survives or it doesn't. Either way, within minutes, the stress response shuts off completely. The zebra goes back to grazing like nothing happened. Humans are different. Sapolsky's research points to something uncomfortable. Human beings are one of the only animals capable of turning on that exact same stress response purely through thought. You don't need a lion. You just need a memory of an argument, or a worry about tomorrow, or the anticipation of an awkward conversation that hasn't even happened yet. Your body can't tell the difference between a real threat and an imagined one. As far as your amygdala is concerned, a looming deadline and a hungry predator activate the same ancient machinery.
That's the strange part. You're not weak for feeling anxious over something small. You're running software that was optimized for a world with teeth and claws, now operating in a world of inboxes and deadlines. So what did that ancient alarm system actually protect against? Back when it made sense? Mostly, it protected against unpredictability. Early humans lived in small, tightly bonded groups, and the biggest threats weren't always animals. Often, they were social. Getting cast out of the group meant losing access to food, protection, and survival itself. Being excluded could be just as deadly as being hunted. This is part of why modern social threats feel so disproportionately intense. A curt text, being left unread, a joke that lands wrong in a group chat. To your rational mind, these are minor inconveniences. To the ancient part of your brain still running the low road, they can register as something closer to exile. Your brain isn't malfunctioning when it overreacts to a slight social sting. It's doing exactly what it was built to do. It's just applying an old rule to a new world. Here's a question worth sitting with. If your body reacts to modern stress the same way it reacted to physical danger tens of thousands of years ago, what happens when that danger never really goes away? A predator encounter used to be sharp and short, spike, then release. Like the zebra, fear, then relief, then grazing again. Modern stress doesn't work that way. The email doesn't disappear. The deadline doesn't reset itself. The uncertainty about tomorrow doesn't resolve in a single sprint through tall grass, so the alarm stays on, quietly, persistently, sometimes for years. This is, in part, why chronic stress does so much damage to the human body. It was never designed to be chronic. It was designed to be a burst, not a permanent hum in the background of your life. Understanding this doesn't make the feeling disappear, but it does something else. It reframes it. The next time your chest tightens over something that logically shouldn't matter this much, that isn't a personal failure, that's 100,000 years of evolutionary wiring, doing its best with information it was never built to interpret. You are not broken. You are ancient. Every time your palms sweat before a presentation, some part of you is standing on open ground, scanning the horizon for movement. Every time a notification makes your stomach drop, some part of you is listening for a rustle in the grass. You carry that version of yourself everywhere, whether you can see it or not. The modern world moved fast. It built cities, screens, and inboxes in the blink of an evolutionary eye. But the brain running all of it is still, in its oldest and fastest circuits, waiting for something to jump out of the tree line. So the next time your heart pounds over nothing, remember what it actually is. It's not nothing. It's not weakness. It's not a flaw in the machine. It's the sound of your ancestors still trying to keep you alive.